Hey everyone, Jason Sherman here with Strap On Your Boots. In today's episode, I have with me a marketing coach and book publisher, Michael DeLon. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, thank you so much. It's going to be great. Thanks for having me, Jason.
Yeah, and today we're talking about how to publish your book without writing a word, which I've written quite a few books in my life, and I had to write words in order to publish the books.
Jason, you're doing it all wrong.
Yeah, I want to hear how I can publish these books without writing words, because writing words takes a long time.
It absolutely does. Yeah. I wrote my first book back in 2013, right? That's the book that changed my life. And I wrote the words, and it took forever. And from there, we created a process where now we help business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches create a book without writing a word, because we interview them. Because what I found, Jason, you're just like all of my clients. You can talk about what you do all day long, right? So we have writers on staff who interview you, who guide you through a process where you're speaking to write your book. We are doing all the writing and the typing of your words and message, so that it's much faster, much easier, and the book comes out sounding like you. So that's
right.
That's our little secret.
So you're writing the words, but the person is not doing the writing. You guys are ghostwriting them for them, basically, right?
Well, in a sense, it's ghostwriting, but with a twist, because instead of us coming up with,
infusing their personality and their content and all that kind of stuff.
Because they're your words. You're actually speaking, and we're massaging your words into your manuscript. So the only thing that we don't do in the entire process of creating a book is the content. We don't add content, because we're not financial advisors. We're not attorneys. We're not coaches like that. It's your words that we massage into your book, right? So you don't have to write, you speak to write, and then we do all the writing, the crafting, and everything.
Kind of reminds me of the whole artificial intelligence service that I've seen is kind of popping up, where you can talk to these interviewers. They ask you a ton of questions. They put you into scenarios, and you just tell them the information and the stories, and they record you and your words. Same thing. But the difference being, when you're dead, God forbid, let's knock on wood, when you're dead, your relatives and friends and family can all come visit your artificial intelligence version of yourself, because it's you, because you told them what you wanted to tell them, and they're giving, it's pretty cool.
Oh,
so
isn't that? I've not heard of that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's a new service. They've been doing it for a lot of Holocaust victims. So it's pretty cool. It sounds kind of like what you're telling me. So do you recommend that small business owners not write words manually, like in a Google Doc or whatever? Yeah,
I would typically tell you never to write a book. Okay, and here's why, Jason. Most of the time,
that's a bold statement, because there are a lot of writers out there literally typing words as we speak right now.
There really are. Yeah, but when you think about business owners, we don't get paid to write books, right? We get paid to service our clients. You start writing and you get self-editing. You write a 2 or 3 sentences. You're like, oh no, I'm going to back up. That's not the right word. And you edit. It takes you forever. Speak it into a Google Doc or speak it, then go back and maybe edit it, or actually hire somebody else to do that. Stay focused on what you're best at and pay somebody to do the rest of it. Get the content out of your head through speaking, and pay somebody else to do the rest.
Michael, I did that for my last book. I spoke my book into a Google Doc for a couple of weeks, and then I'd go on walks. I'd go on walks at the park with my dog, and I would speak through the earphones and just boom, 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 boom. I'd come back to my desk and just edit it. Then of course, when I was done, I sent it to my editor, and she would do the real
stuff.
The red marker.
Brilliant.
So I did that. That's cool. Okay. So what I did was the right move, and other people out there should be doing the same thing. So it sounds like speak it, let someone else edit it. And that sounds pretty cool. I like that. So I want to hear, I know we're talking about books and writing and not writing and AI and all this cool stuff, but when you told me you were in prison.
I was. I started this whole thing, Jason, when I escaped. I had to escape prison to start my company. So long story short, right? So I've got a background in marketing. My wife and I were in ministry to families for about 10 years. The last 2 years of that stint in this family ministry, part of Campus Crusade for Christ, were 2 years of my prison term, because I was in a job I hated. I was on the leadership team,
Okay, so not
They
actual
would,
jail. It was more
not
like
actual, not
but
literal prison.
four walls and a ceiling that you didn't want to be inside the room, though.
You ain't a kidding, for 2 years. And so I had to escape, and God gave me the opportunity to step out and start helping small business owners. So that's when I escaped prison.
So what, besides writing books for business owners, how else do you help them? When you say don't be a coffee bean, for example, like
Sure.
what does that mean, and how do you help business
Yeah.
owners?
Great question. So I'm a coffee guy, right? I love coffee. You pour coffee beans on the table in front of you. They'll look the same. They smell the same. That's how most business owners look in their marketing. They sound like everybody else. They look like everybody else. They try to be like everybody. Don't do that. Be yourself. And so we help business owners not just publish their book and gain credibility in the eyes of their audience. We've built a lot of systems, marketing systems that we actually give to our clients. It's not a software that you lease. These are systems you put in place that help you convert website browsers, do micro trainings to your list, send out emails. How do you do a good email that gets opened, read, and responded to? There are ways to do that. These are systems we give business owners, because what I find, Jason, financial advisor, right? One of my clients, great at financial advising, but never took classes on marketing. So we help them not only establish credibility through their book, but how to market that credibility in a way that builds trust.
But what if
Because
somebody
that's
doesn't
what's
even know
required.
where to start? I mean, you're throwing out a lot of information here right now, and I'm trying to unpack it. And you're mentioning, marketing, you're mentioning emails, you're mentioning a system, you're mentioning processes, you're mentioning all these different things. But what if one of my listeners is a first-time entrepreneur, doesn't have a business yet, but they want to, and they want to figure out how to maybe write a book about their skills or their stories? Where do they start? What are the top 3 things they should do to start?
Yeah. Number one is to take a friend out to coffee. Okay. Have the friend ask you about your background. Record this on your laptop or your phone, right? Get your story. Why are you doing what you're doing, right? My stories of escaping prison, that resonates with people. Number one. Number two, build an outline for your book. What are the top 5 or 10 things that you want to talk about? And now, whether you ever do a book or you go speak at the Chamber of Commerce, you now have talking points. And now you can use those same talking points in an email to somebody or on a Zoom conversation, because you know what it is that you offer. Simple.
What do you think about what I did in the past, which, and I've always recommend this to people, is writing blog posts about those points, short 500 words, to kind of explain the point a little further. So now you have some more information to add to a book or a YouTube series or a course. What do you think about doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're displaying your expertise, right? I would add to that, do that blog, but even faster way, Jason, is to hook up a quick Zoom video or a Loom, Loom. I use that a lot, and record yourself answering that question. Have it transcribed. Now you have a blog that has you on it, because what we're missing in marketing today, Jason, is relationships. We all hide behind email and blogs and everything. I'm doing business with you, Jason. I need to know you. Put yourself out there. It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be your own blog, but just be you. Tell me your story and explain the points here. Do it on a written blog for SEO purposes and things, but do it in a video as well on the exact same page.
And for all those shy people out there, I feel bad now. Because there's a lot of people that don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be put on the spot. They feel better with the written word because, as they say, the pen is mightier than the sword, right? They can think about what they want to say. They can craft a story, but when they get put on the spot, they're like a deer in headlights,
So take my concept and just flip it on its end, right? So I'm getting ready to go speak at a homeschool graduation in May. Okay. Trust me, I'm going to write my speech, but I'm going to write it and memorize it. Right. And I'm going to practice it so many times that when I deliver it, it's not going to sound like a memorized speech. So write it out. Okay. Put it in front of you. Have a teleprompter process or something, but don't read it, but you know what you want to say, but just relax and just deliver the content in some form or fashion. I just think video is such a powerful connector. And don't think that you have to be like professional on the news. No,
Right.
it's just me.
Just be you, be yourself. I mean,
thank you.
just like you and I right here having a conversation, I'm recording this as a video. So our listeners, if our listeners want to see us talking right now, they can. I have this transcribed later, so I get it. So we're basically telling people, be visual, be yourself, put out content on video and your text blogs as well.
And keep it simple, okay?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh my goodness. Your audience, just keep it simple.
I say it all the time.
Yeah, it is just crazy. We confuse people.
I think what you're talking about too is if people try to include too much information in an episode, break it up into pieces, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And don't get detailed. Don't get too detailed, right? Because you really want the conversation, right? So a financial advisor, don't start talking to me about the 17 types of annuities that are out there or what. No, talk to me about having guaranteed income for life. And if you would like to know more, Jason, just schedule a short 20-minute call with me. We'll talk about your situation or download this free report.
Right. Or instead of the 17, just give me the top 3 things I need to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it simple.
Keep it simple. So that's the biggest thing.
So in terms of this, I went to your website and I saw you had a credibility calculator, and I'm curious, like, what exactly does it do? How does it work? Why did you decide to make this?
Yeah. So we talk a lot about credibility marketing. Everybody wants credibility, but as I asked people, nobody could define it or tell me what credibility really was. So we did the research. We looked at it. We created this calculator in under 5 minutes, answering 20 questions. I will give you a credibility score from 0 to 100. And then following that, there are 5 videos that you'll get, one a day, that will tell you how to improve your credibility, because credibility is important, but it all happens in the mind of your audience. How do they see you? What are they looking for? That's what you'll find in the credibility calculator. And it's really simple. It's right at the, you can go to credibilitycalculator.com or go to our website. It's right there. It's just a really fun, easy, simple tool to say, oh, I do have more credibility than I think. How are you using that credibility to convey trust to your audience?
It sounds like it's, a lot about perception and, how you look to your market. Do they trust you? Do they believe what your expertise is actually valid?
Yeah,
right. So
absolutely.
Your credibility, like, do you have references? Do you have word of mouth referrals? Do people have testimonials about you and things like that?
Yep. We've all heard for a long time, people have to know, like, and trust you, which, I'm tired of that phrase, but so I'm couching credibility as the level of confidence that your client has in you. That's credibility, right? It is know, like, and trust, but it goes deeper than that. And everything that you talked about there, if I go to your website, Jason, and there are, if Elon Musk is there and Jeff Bezos saying, man, Jason's the guy. We've worked with him. He delivers. He's a man of integrity. You should work with him. My confidence level just went up in you.
Man, Jeff and Elon, if you guys are listening or watching, please write some testimonials for us. I wish, man.
Yeah. Well, but it's just that, marketing happens in the mind of your audience.
Right.
So
they decide what they feel as though, the level of trust, the level of credibility. It's really what are you putting out there that's making them believe that you have expertise in that topic.
Right. Yeah.
And speaking of which, you mentioned that you write these books for people based on their expertise, the services they're selling, things like that. Part of me wants to ask this burning question of,
sure,
are there business owners out there that approach you that you say, this isn't really going to work for us. We think you should just stick with your services and not write the book?
Well, I haven't run into too many of those, primarily because of my price point and things.
Okay.
But what I tell most people is most business owners, if you've been in business for any time, okay, you are an expert at what you do. What we're trying to do is just help you share that expertise and build credibility. So our formula, if there's a formula, is expertise plus credibility.
Got it.
Equals profitability.
Makes sense. Love it. Awesome, Michael. Thank you, man. And where can people find out more about this and you?
Paperbackexpert.com. That's
easy enough. It was a pleasure, Michael. Thanks again, man.
Thank you, Jason.
And we will see everybody in next week's episode.